Hi, it's Anika from Living for Later. So, it's been a little bit over a month since I have shaved my head and just gone out and shown the world me. And for the most part, I have had high moments, right? I even made a video and discussed how, you know, we're to count it as a joyful thing when we go through various seasons of difficulty, knowing that the Lord is developing us. And that, of course, is based on James chapter 1, I believe. But so when I did that video, I think the morning of or the previous day, I was talking to one of my girlfriends, and I was just telling her how I found myself actually thanking God for my hair loss. Not that I don't want my hair to be restored. Definitely still want my hair to be restored, but I'm just seeing, all that God is doing. And at that moment, it was just such a beautiful thing because it's just like been revelation after revelation. So I got to the place of just really thanking the Lord. So I was like on the mountaintop, absolutely on the mountaintop, right? So that's been pretty much the norm for the last month and a half or however long it's been since my head has been shaved. But there's been some low moments, and today was one of them. I had, did a video about just the different spots on my head, and this morning I went to shave my hair because I plan to go out, and on the days that I don't go out, I don't really do much in terms of shaving it, but I shave it because there's, when the little parts come in, I look like a old man. TMI, but anyway, so today I was going out, so I went to shave it, and when I went to shave it, I noticed that I had some razor bumps in the back. And now this is nothing new, and I had been using some lemon concoction, and that seemed to have helped, but to kind of reduce it a bit. But this morning it just really hit me, and like I said, I did a video on this before, but this morning it just really hit me. After just being on the mountaintop this morning, I found myself just kind of getting a little depressed, and I just broke and I started crying, and it's like, oh my goodness, where did this come from? And I could just feel just this depression coming over me. And this is nothing new. I've been here so many times before of just, crying about my hair loss and trying to manipulate God with my tears and just begging and pleading with God to just restore my hair, right? There were times in the past where, I would just look in the mirror when I didn't have a wig on, and I would just break down and start crying, and my husband would come home, and, he could tell from my disposition that something was going on. So it would just really just affect my mood all across the board. So what I was feeling this morning wasn't something new. But this morning I made a choice. I was like, I have tasted too much freedom. I have come such a long way by the grace of God this last month and a half. And I had to make the choice at that point to say, you know what, God, even though this is bothersome and this is not the prettiest thing, I can't slip back into old mindsets. You've taught me too much, right? I've seen too much. So I had to make the choice at that moment to begin to magnify God, and not the razor bumps in the back of my head, and not my bald head, right? Because what would happen in the past is that I would, start to cry about my hair, and then it would become a trickle down effect, and then I would begin to think about everything else that's wrong in my life, and that would be my focus, right? That would be the thing that I magnified. But this morning I decided that I can't go here, because I'm telling you, it's just such a weighty thing when you're walking around moping and crying all day. So today I chose to magnify the Lord. And it was just amazing to me to see how oftentimes we feel helpless when, depression comes on us. But we have a choice to make. And I'm really realizing that I don't have to accept those feelings. I can reject them. And one of the best ways to reject them is to begin to praise and begin to magnify the Lord. And what I recognize is, again, it's easy for anyone to praise the Lord when everything is going wonderful and He's answering their prayers prayers when they want him to and how they want him to. But it takes another level of commitment to the Lord, a true level of commitment to the Lord, when you can get to the place of saying, God, even though I don't have this answer yet, I still recognize that you are good, and I'm going to choose to praise you. I'm going to choose to magnify you. Such freedom, because sometimes, again, we think that I praise because all is going well, and because I look the way I want to look, and because I have the money that's, in the money that I want to have in my bank account, and I have the spouse that I want, or I have the home that I want, whatever the situation is, right? But my praise should not just be contingent upon what he has done for me, but who he is. So I just want to stop there and just encourage you. All of my videos, I don't want it to just be, oh, thank you for sharing your story with me. I always wanted to cause you to really just reflect on the things that you're going through personally, and see how what the Lord has given me or revealed to me, how that can be a blessing to you, and how you can apply that to your own life. So what situation are you going through now and you're waiting for it to turn around? Are you magnifying that situation, or are you magnifying God? Moping doesn't answer things. It doesn't. It just makes you heavier. So today I just want to encourage you to praise the Lord, because he is good, period. You be blessed.